Assalamualaikum and very good day. Welcome back to BITG 1233 programming, computer programming. And the topic for this video will be repetition, like while loop and also for loop. So this will be, if we, in the code, we have to repeat some instruction until it reaches certain condition for the process to stop. So that is the meaning for repetition. So let me share my screen. This will be our slide. And, let's go through this first. So at the end of this lecture, you should be able to understand the concept of loop control structure, and we'll be using while, do, while, and for loops, and we'll talk also about how to break and continue statement in loop control. Okay, a loop is basically a control structure that causes a statement to repeat. For example, while, and we have an expression or the condition, and then a statement. What is it that you want the program to do? So the statement can also be a block of statements enclosed in the curly brackets. So the expressions is evaluated with this condition. If that condition is true, the statement will be executed and expressions will be evaluated again. Okay, so if false, then the loop is finished. So program will terminate that that loop. Okay, so usually in the table, not in the flow chart. So flow chart will be shown as this one. So where the flow is coming from the top. So as you come to the diamond, is where we have to do the decision. You have to do the decision. Then if this is true, then we'll execute that statement. We'll do some work, and then we'll look back and see whether we are still whether the condition is still true. So until it is false, then only it will stop do these statements and then proceed with the next next work in the flow. So this is a sample program that demonstrates the simple while loop. So let us stop here and see if we can do the same thing here. So I'm gonna put this on one side and then see if I can okay, and try to put this on one side. Okay, so let us make this small so that I can copy that. So in this, let's start a new source file, and here let's go on and proceed with the code. You can go ahead and close my right. Here we just need to start with the include. This is the common thing that you have to always do. Include IOStream, IOStream, quantity brackets. Using namespace std. Don't forget the semicolon. Then now we can start with the integer main, and have the empty parenthesis here, and then we use the curly bracket to open. And here, let's proceed as shown there, integer number 1. I'm gonna use num1. So we are starting the counter here. So num can be the counter, we can call it something else, but let's follow that. So the command here is while, and we have the condition for that for this loop. While number is less than or equal to 5. So our starting point is 1, but stopping point will be 5. So while that is happening, if this condition is still true, we can use another, this one. So here, cout hello. And then slash or backslash n to go to the next level, or like as if we are hitting the enter. And then don't forget the semicolon. Then we are going to add or increase our number with the double plus sign, yeah? And then colon. So basically that is similar to num equals num plus 1. All right. And then that will be it. So that will be it. So that is that loop, and then that is all. After this, we just cout the quotation mark. That's a quote mark. Yeah, that is all. Backslash n. Or instead of doing that, we can also do this. The NDL. So same thing. The track will be kind of similar. and then return 0, semicolon. So let's run this bad boy, and first I got to save it. Let's save in the E. Let's clear next thing. Quotes, I guess. Let's call it quotes or homework. This while lecture. Okay, while quote. Yes. This, let's run this thing. Compile it first. So seems to be okay. Then I'm just going to execute, run it. So see, the starting point is num is 1. So 1 is okay. So it's going to run it for the first time. And num is at the value of 1. And because 1 is still less than 5, so it will continue. Go down here, and number will be increased by 1. So number or num becomes 2. So 2 is still, you will check whether 2 is still satisfying this condition, which is less than 5. So yes, 2 is less than 5, so we'll print this again. And then num will become 3. So 3 is still less than 5, print the third time. So after that, increase into 4, num increase into 4. So 4 is still less than 5, so we'll print it for the fourth time. And lastly, will become 5. And 5 is exactly, num is exactly 5. So it's still satisfying this condition. So it'll print it for the fifth time. And then we'll check whether it'll increase into 6. And check that while num is 6 and 6 is not less than or equal to 5, so it will stop. It will not go into this statement. So I'll go to the next one, which says that is all. So it will stop. All right. So that is pretty much it. Just X that. So that's the explanation to that. This is the explanation. So the condition is number must be less than 5. And as long as this is still true, this is satisfied. So I'll keep on doing all these things. So print hello and then add the number to increase by 1. Okay, so until it becomes 6, then it cannot go to the right anymore. It cannot go to the right because it's not in true anymore. So go into the downward direction. All right, so the while loop is a pretest loop. So expression is evaluated before the loop execute. Okay. So when we start, that's why we need to have a starting point. So like setting the number equals to 1. So that will be starting. So when it enters the while loop, it will need to be tested first, whether it satisfies the condition or not, the Boolean expression. So that's the story. Until, so if we, when we start it, our number is at 6. So this won't even get into the while loop. Say if I put this as 6 and run this. Okay, so need to save this and compile this, and then run this thing. So it will go straight to, won't even enter this this part because it doesn't. This one becomes negative or false statement. So it doesn't satisfy the condition. So it will go straight to this line. Okay, the loop must contain code to make expression becomes false. So this, so you cannot make a mistake here. Otherwise, like a mistake that will make the condition cannot be stopped. So that is when you wrongly you chose the wrong stopping criterion. So basically, this is the condition here is a stepping criterion. All right. So when that stopping criterion is reached, then this while loop will stop to operate, and then go to the next line outside of that while loop. Okay, so avoid infinite loop. When you put something that it won't stop, that will be infinite loop. Not sure how to stop that. All right, so you have to beware of that. Example of an infinite loop. So here you start the number equals to 1. This one, okay. Number less than equals to 5. See out is this one. Okay, so you forgot to increase the number. So here, this is the mistake over here. So after it runs this or execute this line, it checks whether the number is less than 5 and the number is still 1. So it won't stop. It won't stop. Say if I comment that out, okay, save that and compile and run. Okay, sorry, I need to change this to 1. Back to 1. Compile and run. So here it's not stopping. It is not stopping. So I got to X that. Okay, so you do not want to make that mistake. Using while loop for input validation. So input validation is the process of inspecting data that is given to the program as input, determining whether it is valid. While loop can be used to create input routines that reject invalid data and repeat until valid data is entered. Okay, that will be interesting. Here's the general approach in pseudocode. So this is pseudocode. So All right, so read an item of input. Then while the input is invalid, display an error message. Read the input again and while. So this is the thinking or the thinking process for this exercise. So it's called a pseudocode. It's not the real code. C++ wouldn't understand this. This is for us to see whether we have the correct thought process in order to solve this problem. Okay, this is an example of the validation. Cout enter a number less than 10. Okay, so it will ask you to for user input. Then cn read the number. Well, that's another way get input, something like that. Get input. This one, another way is get line, and use cin and the variable name, get line. So that's another way. Or we can just use cin like this. While number is greater than 10, so because you want the number in the instruction, you want the number to be less than 10, but people can be making some mistake and give you a number that is larger than 10 outside of the region or range. So we'll give you this information. So we can try this out. Okay, so how do we do this? Okay, so I guess we must declare that num is an integer first, but comment this thing out, then put this thing cout enter number as then okay, all right, so then we have to read the number cin and call that as a number, while number is now I'm gonna make that larger. If that is larger than 10, so what I'll do is this one I'm gonna comment this out. Okay, this one, yeah. Okay, and then what else? So we do this thing, C out invalid entry, C out invalid entry. Invalid entry. Or I can do that, invalid entry. Then down here, C out, or just uh, let's do like that. Enter a number less than 10. Enter pretty much copy this thing out. The number, yes. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm recording. Now less than 10. Sorry about that. And do that thing. I can also use another way. Get line, something like that. Get line. Get line, cin, and then that get line, cin, then let's call that number. But I wonder if that is maybe I'll have a problem because that line might be for hopefully that is good. Oh, yeah, let's see. Otherwise, we have to use cin just like before. Okay, let's again save that, and then compile and run. So yeah, so I have to declare that it is an integer. Yes, can do like that as also. Compile. We do that before that line. So integer num. Okay, let's see. Okay, so it doesn't like this thing. public string. Okay, so I guess must use that one for a string. And that one we can use for string. String. The other one that will be a string. So let's use cin and convert now. And then semicolon. Okay, that seems to be all right. So let's put a 15. Let's say if I am let's say if I'm stubborn and don't want to listen to the instruction, I put the 12, 17 until I use 9. Until I satisfy that condition, it will stop. So basically, this will stop if I am prone to give an invalid entry. So that will stop when that condition is finally met. So if I give number that is larger than 10, it's not according or following this instruction, so this loop will keep on going until I follow or obey the limitation. Okay. All right, and then this is the flow chart and input validation. So this one is for a couple of conditions. When we have these two vertical lines, that button key on the keyboard will be above your enter button or enter key. So and same thing as the backslash. So you have to click and hold your shift button and hit that key above the backslash. Okay. While team players is less than minimum players, or so this means or team players is larger than maximum team players. So meaning it is outside of the range. So usually you want to operate between minimum and the maximum, but this one is outside of that range. There is less than the minimum or larger than the maximum. Okay. Explain the error. See out. You should have at least. So this one, if you enter the number of players outside of that range, this one will be giving you that reminder or warning, but no more than this one. All right, we can do this. Get the number of players available. How many players are available? Cin players. Validate input. While player is less than or equals to 0. Can I have a negative number of players? Please enter 0 or greater. 0 or greater. So I guess that should be pretty straightforward. Now we can try this or in the condition. So we can if we want to have n, so we must have a double n sign, which is above the key for number 7 on the keyboard. So, but so usually the condition can have this one double that, or above the enter, or with the backslash, can have this one. So this is O, and this one is N. We have to use double sign. So here, if enter the number of players, enter the number of, this will be the number of players. Yes. Okay. So while num is minimum numbers, mean players. So mean players. Okay. So here must be n. And oh no, this is or. Num is larger than or equal to max players. So we have to define what are those things. Integer mean players, and maybe set that to be 5 maybe, or 4. Integer max players, say 11. All right, and then so if this is the answer for the top part is larger than that, let me see. Let's see if that is larger. So we can just say invalid entry, and then we can enter minimum the statement here. Minimum is minimum players is 4, and max number max players is 11. Okay? All right. Say, can I put backslash here? I don't know. Let's try that. So here I can change it to players within range. Players within range. Okay. So let's try this. compile and run. So it seems to be good. Number of players, so let me just play with 15. Invalid. Minimum players, okay, give me that information. And then say if I want it to be 3. Okay, something is wrong here. Okay, so here I need to use less than. Less than. And execute this again. Compile and run. Let me put 3. Then we put 1. And we put 11.3. Okay, so doesn't like that. So because it's not of the same correct data type, so that is a problem. Okay, so this one is easy to understand, I hope. Counters. So basically, the number is also the counter here. So it can keep on increasing in the previous loop. So, but it all depends on what you want to use for the stopping criteria or criterion. So counter is a variable that is incremented or decremented each time the loop repeats. Okay, so you can use none, or sometimes the symbol that you want to use is I or J. For me, I like to use double I or double J, and must be initialized before entering the loop. So that is basically the way to do it. So take a look at this example. We have a constant here, minimum number. So you can set it as the constant. Maximum number is 10. Okay. And then integer number is minimum number. So we want to start with the minimum one. Okay. Then cout number of numbers square, and then we enter with that \n. Then cout the underline. Then while run, while the condition is number less than the maximum number, so we have to do this thing. Print the number, then give it some space, then double space, I guess, and then or tab, give it tab 2 times, then number times number. Okay, this is square or power, and then ENDL, so goes to the next line. So I guess this is also a good thing to do. So here I have to declare this as the constant, CONST, constant, instead of that I can use a comma and bring this thing up in the same line if I want. So like this, they both minimum players and min players and max players will be constants and of the type of integer. Okay, here, but here I need to use comma instead of semicolon. Okay, and then have to start the counter. In this case, number is equal to min number. Uh, min num. Change this to max num. And then this is starting from 1 to 10. Yeah. I guess there is no input here. C is not needed here. So instead of that, I'm gonna say num is equals to min num. Min num. Semicolon. So while then do this for the, so this will be instead of this one, you can just put integer here. Integer num, just like that. Then put the C out number squared then backslash n. Go to the next line. Okay, then the underline. You can also use this one if I want. I don't know how far. Just give it some distance. Then backslash n. Don't forget the semicolon. Then we enter the loop. Okay, we started the counter. So this start counter. Initialize counter. So that's a must. Initialize the counter, and then while loop number is less than max number. Yes, only one condition is enough here. Max number. And number is less than that. This thing can delete. Then what should we do? What should we do? See out number. See out. Okay, this one is number. Then you have this. Then that t slash t. I guess tab backslash. Okay. Wow. Use double quotation mark, double quote mark, slash t. Okay, that's more like it. Then num times num. So we cannot use, or another way to do it, we can use num here and power like that. Okay, and then ENDL, we'll go to the next line, semicolon. But in order for us to use POW, I think we need to add include CMAT. CMAT. Okay, so that should do it. And then here we need to increase the counter. And num plus plus semicolon. Okay, and then that should be I think we need to stop. Let's say that should do the trick. Let's save this thing and then execute, compile and run. Okay, num is not known here, so num like that. Hopefully that is correct. Okay. Enter the number of players. Number. Okay. This one can go. Yes. I should interview here. Next num. So as long as the this one needs to be less than. Yeah, sometimes so try like that. Save that and execute, compile, run. Delete that. Okay, so I need to come back and say here, integer num. That is needed. That is needed. Okay, that's a good sign. So here I'll show that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 10. So 1 squared is 1, 2, 4, 3 will give you 9. So I think this is good. Coming up with this table is cool. So that's one of the powers of using this while loop. Another way is to use for. So that will be the input. And the next one will be a do loop. Do loop. So do loop. So while do while a post test loop. Okay. The general format is do. And the statement block and while expression. No, that the semicolon is required after expression. So this is same as while. Now we use the while at the end of the block. Okay. So the logic or the flowchart will be something like this. So it's a bit different from the previous one. So example is to have the initial x is equal to 1, so this can be the counter. So do whatever until while x is less than 0. Although the test expression is false, okay, the loop will execute one time because do while is a post test. Okay. Post test meaning that if you go line by line, so it will go do this. So nothing's stopping it to go to the next line. So we'll go to this line, printing 1 x, and then while x is less than 0, which is not the case, then you will stop. So this is one example. Get 3 scores, see out, enter 3 scores, and I will average them. So see in, I think we have done this before. See in, then calculate average. So we'll do this this work, getting the average and divide by 3, sum it, and then divide by 3, then see out the average is this one. And then it goes on to ask, does the user want to average another? See out, do you want to average another? Yes or no? See in again. While again is equal to yes. Okay, and or either in capital or in lowercase. So return. So we'll keep on doing this until you give a different answer. Give different answer. Okay, we can try this thing. Just for the fun of it. This is the do while loop, not. Then there is for loop, which is also very important. And then so we can get this kind of output just like before, but with a different kind of loop. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let me go back to the while. So we want to try this thing. So let's do this thing. Do integer. So let's do this. Okay. So here integer score 1, score 2, score 3. Here for score 1, score 2, score 3. Double average. VG, and then char character again again. All right. So then we use that is the command. That is the command. So we do this cout enter 3 score. The 3 scores. The 3 scores will be ever reached. Okay. Okay. Use this thing, then semicolon. So we'll do that cin thing. Cin score 1, score 2, score 2, score 1, score 2, and score 3. Okay, then we go ahead and do the calculate the average AVG. So just sum them up. 1, 4, 2, 4, 3, and divide them by 3. And that should give you some value. Then print it out. The average is the average is the value is AVG. Then AVG. And then we ask cout another try, another try. Then you want to yes or no, y/n. All right, and then cin again. Cin again. 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 And then we go out of that loop and do that while thingy. So if again equals yes, big Y, or no, or again equals small y, or maybe yes, and can we do that? Again, it is yes. Or again, it is and just in case, just in case. So do this thing. We have to have that semicolon in the end. Semicolon. Okay, I'm not so sure. Maybe I need to use also include uh, strings, something like that. This one include string, maybe. So I'm gonna copy that just in case. So let me try to save this and try to execute. Doesn't like that. Forgets comparison with pointers. Okay, in this case, let's try this thing. Okay, so it doesn't like that. So maybe I'm gonna just skip this. Try to be as simple as possible. Just follow that recipe. See if this works. So I guess it does. Score 3 scores. So I'm gonna put like 95 space 65 41 each. So if I want to try another one, y 21 21 21. If I say no, it'll stop. Okay, so yep, so this thing works. So meaning if we if we use do and while, so we'll do this thing first, and then the while is post test. So whereas in the previous way, when we use while, we pre-test it. So if it doesn't satisfy this thing, we'll skip this whole statement. Okay, I guess that is all for this one. We'll go through uh, the part on for loop in the next video. Thank you for your attention and I wish you all the best. Bye bye. Hello, Assalamualaikum and welcome back to the ITG 1233 computer programming with C++. So the next topic will be the for loop. Let me share my screen. For loop, basically, it's useful for counter control loop. So this is the general format. So you have the command for and then the condition. Usually, for loop will have the initialization or initial number, and then test the stopping criteria. criterion, then updating of the counter. Then below it, we have the statement. What is it that the loop wants you to do during that loop? So no semicolon after the update expression, after the parenthesis. So let's go to this example. So for this last one, let me comment that out. And then let's do this integer count. So let's define that. So we use the correct case integer count. So count is a variable that I give. You can select that one. Then for this parenthesis, so get the starting number for the count, starting value, and then semicolon there, semicolon, and then the stopping criteria. So as long as count is less than or equal to 5, we must do what we did with the while loop. So next, we want count to keep on increasing. Okay, plus plus. All right. So below that, can also have this one, I guess. Curly bracket. I guess I can do that. Then we say count. Oh no, C out. C out. Hello. Applicable. Applicable. That's what we say here in Malaysia. Malaysia. And then ENDL. Don't forget the semicolon. And let's save this and compile and run. Okay, so it seems to be running the way we want it. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We start with 1 and ends with 5. Okay, so you can use your imagination. What else can be? What else can we use this thing in other situation? Okay, so this is the number. So we did this thing before with do while. Remember, we did this with do while. And we definitely can do it over here as well. So we can. So it's pretty much like the same thing can be done in different ways. Okay, let me comment this out. This seems to be doing just fine. It works. And like this one, I don't know. Yeah, I guess this one. Yeah, this one. Copy that. paste it over here. Here can uncomment that. Uncomment that. So here we have count. Oh, sorry, one just command. This one. This one, so minimum number, constant, 1 and 10, integer num. Integer num equals to, here we can do this, initialize the counter in a different way. So we can initialize the counter. So here I just say this is a declaration. We declare that a number has the type of integer, and then here instead of while loop, I'm going to use the for loop, and condition will be num starts with the minimum number. Num is or declared as the starting point, minimum num, then a semicolon. Then we have the stopping criterion less than the maximum number, and then don't forget the plus plus. So we want to increase num. We have to have the semicolon there as well. And then num plus plus like that, just like that. So no need to be over there. Let's see if this thing works. Save, compile and run. So it works. It does work. Good. What else? For loop is a pretest as well. So yeah, so it's testing. So if it doesn't satisfy this thing, like the counter starts with 11 and the stopping criterion is 10, so it won't go into this loop. So it's a pre-test instead of post-test. Right. Separate statement. You can also have multiple statements in the test expression, separate by a comma. In this case, x starts with 1, y also starts with 1. So we have two initial values, and the stopping criterion is x. Okay. You can omit the initialization expression. It has already been done. Okay, if we say the initial number is 1 outside of the for loop, so you can put it this way. All right. We can declare variables in the initialization expression. Here, sum is 0, and then for integer sum is integer num equals to 0. So num, this is stopping criterion. Then num is the part that you want to be increasing. So this is also like equal to sum plus num. Okay, so the value of sum will be increasing with the num here. So num, variable num is also increasing because of this thing. Okay, so you can use it to run a total or accumulator. So this is whole thing about for. And when I was a student doing my doctoral work, I think a lot of my work use this loop, for loop, very useful. Okay, so you can go through some of these other examples because it will be very easy to just copy them up and try uh, to run them and see whether you can get the same output as what is shown in these slides. Okay, and then from this lecture, we have gone through while loop, do while, and for loop, and we basically have seen how they work. But for me, I guess the part that I usually use is while loop, and in most of the cases, I would use for loop. I guess for us in engineering, most of the time you use this for loop. But there are times when we need to use while loop, especially if we are unsure of the stopping criterion. Okay? Okay? Such as if your work is dependent on certain error. So when the error is reaching certain low number, so you can say it's time to stop. Okay, so if that is the case in your study, you will use while loop. But if you already know that you want this thing to repeat 100 times, so you already know, you already set, you want it to keep on do the calculation for 100 times, so use for loop. Okay? But while loop, if you don't know, maybe this thing will keep on uh, doing the calculation for 100 times, maybe 1,000 times, until it reaches certain criteria or criterion, such as error. The error value is certain small number, then only you want the program to stop. Okay, so in that situation, you use while loop. Okay, and then you can also use them in this expression, especially if you are building some sort of a matrix. Here, one loop is to control the row, and the other loop is to control the column. So in this case, you can use nested for loops. Okay, like this. So you can go ahead and so the use of the term break is also useful to terminate execution of a loop, I guess in any loop. So if it, I think this is also good so that it won't be an infinite loop. So you can use the term, the command break. Maybe you can put a counter if this goes on for maybe 1,000 times. We want the program to terminate. Okay. maybe after 1,000 times, it still doesn't reach the real stopping criterion for your while loop. So you want the program to finally break. Uh, I think that is also a good thing to do. All right. Yeah, we can go ahead and try all these things. I think it is advisable for you to try them. And but for me, I guess we can continue that in the next video. And I guess you won't know until you try it. Yeah? Try it. Don't just look at it. Don't just listen to it. You must try it, and then only you know what works and what don't. Okay, thank you very much for your attention. You guys have a great day. I'll see you in the next video. Assalamualaikum.